Are designer items worthless now with everything that is going on with those viral TikTok videos from the Chinese factories claiming that they make exactly these bags? With the announcement of the new US tariffs, the luxury pre-loved market plummeting, and many big influencers selling off their entire collections and supposedly are not interested in luxury bags anymore. Should we be selling off our collections? What is the future of luxury designer handbags? Let's have a bit of a discussion. Hey guys, welcome back. So much has been happening in the designer bag world lately. I am sure most of you guys know exactly what I am talking about. These luxury bags are supposedly mostly made in China, and apparently you could buy these bags directly from the Chinese factories at a fraction of the cost of what these designer brands are charging us. I am sure most of you guys have come across these viral Chinese TikTok videos claiming to be from these factories that actually produce the bags for the designer brands, then ship them off to the designers, and the designers just add some final touches or put their labeling on and claim that it is either made in France or Italy or wherever fancy European country. Does that make us think twice about buying a designer handbag for thousands of dollars? Is this anything new? Is this a shocking truth? Is it even true what they're claiming? I guess we will never find out 100% since I can't see any of these brands ever being completely transparent about where their factories are and the whole process of the production of their goods. But whether what these Chinese factory workers are claiming is true or not doesn't really have any significance on our purchasing behavior or how we view our current collections. After watching those viral videos, do you feel disturbed or do you feel like your collection is worthless or worth less? I mean, let's assume that those claims are true, which I personally don't think they are because there are just so many things logically wrong in my mind with what they're claiming. Let's say these Chinese factories produce exactly the same quality bags, same design and everything as these designer bags that we enjoy so much, that we pay so much money for. If the quality and the craftsmanship is exactly the same, they still didn't design the bags. The designing was actually done by those luxury brands who have also spent years and huge budgets on marketing, building a reputation, customer service, their beautiful boutiques. All of that comes as a package when you shop these luxury designer items. So if what they're claiming is true, are they still benefiting of all that work that these designers have done outside of the actual production? They're really benefiting off the reputation that they spent years and decades, sometimes even centuries to build. The other thing is, in those videos, they actually market their products saying that we as consumers can cut out the middlemen, i.e. the brands, and actually buy directly from them for the exact same quality, just without the label that says Hermes, unless they are obviously counterfeit factories, and pay like 10% of the price. I was actually researching this matter on Google and I read the funniest analogy on Reddit, I think it was. One of the comments said, it's like saying my pasta that I make at home is exactly the same as a Michelin chef's pasta because I use tomatoes and pasta, same ingredients. I thought that was so hilarious. One video revealed that a Birkin bag costs about materials and production cost is around $1,900 US. So instead of paying something like $20,000 for a Birkin, why not just pay $2,000 and get a Birkin directly from their factory? First of all, I was impressed by the cost of the Birkin bag. I actually thought $2,000 is quite a high cost. I know we are paying tenfold of that, but still, I thought, that's not too bad. But anyway, when we buy these bags, aren't we actually buying for the designer label? Even though we do really value the quality, if the bags didn't have an Hermes or Chanel logo or stamp on it, would we still be buying them even at 1/10 of the price point? I guess that's a personal thing. I am sure some people will be happy to buy items without the logo on it if the quality is exactly the same and save a huge amount of money on it. And I'm sure a lot of us, especially in the luxury community, will still only buy from the designer brands even though we have to pay a lot more. I mean, are they even allowed to sell directly to customers? Don't they have some sort of legal agreements with these brands if they are actually the factories that produce for these designer brands? And along the same lines, isn't there going to be some sort of repercussions for exposing this trade secret? So unless these factories are actually not affiliated with these brands and they don't actually have any legal agreements with these brands, I don't really see how they can come out and say these things. I mean, these are the things that I would be thinking about if what they're saying is true. On the other hand, if they are BSing and they are actually not making the items for these big luxury brands, which I really don't think these claims are true. Again, we may never find out the whole truth, but as someone who doesn't actually believe what these videos are saying, I think it's just the simple case of these people being opportunistic, trying to capitalize on the whole US tariff drama, using this as an opportunity to market their products, telling consumers we can buy directly from their factories and save 80-90% of the price. There was one video talking about Lululemon leggings, how those leggings are produced in Chinese factories, and these leggings will cost $5 to $6 per pair without the Lululemon logo, but exactly the same product, exactly the same quality and everything. But when it goes to Lululemon and gets sold to their customers, the price jumps to $100. In one of those videos, the marketing was that even if you have to pay something like 126% tariffs charged for Chinese imported items into the US, you're only paying $13 as opposed to $100. But are these legitimately the exact factories that the exact same leggings are produced in? Well, Lululemon has since come out and said that the factories featured in these TikTok videos are not their suppliers at all. They did not say that they don't have any factories in China, so they may very well have factories in China, but they basically came out and said those factories in those videos have nothing to do with them. So to me, it just seems like a bit of a marketing opportunity for these factories. Either way though, I think that this whole publicity that these viral videos have created will impact on luxury shopping in general. Whether there are some people that really believe what is said in these videos, or whether someone doesn't really believe what they see in these videos, like me. Overall, I think it'll slow down the luxury market even more than what we have seen leading up to this. There's already been less interest in luxury shopping in general in the last couple of years for various reasons. I've actually done a video on that. But these videos definitely have damaged the reputation of some of these designer brands. And dare I say, especially people who don't really understand luxury shopping, who are not interested in luxury shopping, they just seem to like to be a little bit smirky about the whole situation. Haha, see, you're paying thousands of dollars for no reason. You're just being ripped off. So even if these claims are not true, I think there's a lot of work that these brands need to do. They probably need to be a lot more transparent on their production line, how things are produced, where things are produced, and if they are produced in an ethical way, especially when we're paying the high-end designer prices for a handbag or clothing or shoes or whatever we like to shop. We do expect that their workers will be treated fairly and these items are produced in a safe working environment and all of that. I think consumers will be a lot more interested in knowing what they're paying for exactly. I also wanted to briefly touch on how it is kind of a trendy thing to do to sell off your designer bag collection in the recent times. A few big influencers have come out to say that they are selling all of their designer bags because of various reasons. The most recent one being Lydia Ellis Millen. A lot of people have done videos on it. There was Nikki Sky, was it a year or two ago, who sold off her whole collection as well. Whatever the reason, I feel like it is a trendy thing to do to not be into luxury shopping, to sell off your existing collection. I feel like it's just trendy to trash on luxury shopping at the moment. But everything is cyclical. I think luxury is just having a bit of a down moment at the moment, but in a couple of years, maybe in a few years, it will recover. Luxury will always be there. There'll be always people interested in luxury things. Even though I have lost a little bit of interest because of the various factors and also because of my current life stage being a mum to a toddler. Life is just busy. There are other expenses, so luxury shopping is not really high on my priority list, but I am still generally interested in luxury shopping, and in a few years, I can see myself again being more interested in it than what I am now. So I think everything is cyclical. It's just a cool thing to do to not be into luxury shopping, I feel like, at the moment. Similar to how minimalism was such a huge trend a few years ago. But now I feel like a lot of people do practice aspects of minimalism, but how popular the extreme minimalism was, I feel like it's not really all that popular anymore. It's so interesting how everything comes full circle and comes around. Very similar to fashion trends. We've also seen the pre-loved market being not where it used to be. The hype is gone. During the COVID years, the pre-loved luxury market was such a big bubble. So many items were selling at a premium. There were so many big price increases from designer brands, especially Chanel with their classic flaps. But in the last year or two, we have really seen the pre-loved market sort of stabilizing, where it has returned to where it should be, like it was pre-COVID times where you can save a decent amount of money by buying pre-loved designer items. How the pre-loved prices have come down quite significantly tells me that there's definitely less demand for luxury shopping at the moment in general. If the demand was there, then obviously the prices will not drop this significantly. And I also wonder, with the new US tariff laws or rates, I wonder how the pre-loved market will change. So I guess the consignment stores located within the US won't really be affected because the US consumers will be buying from within the country. But with the larger consignment stores that ship globally, located outside of the US, we have a couple of big ones here in Australia. I know some are based in the UK, for example. How are those prices going to be affected if they are selling to customers located in the US? When these pre-loved bags get shipped off to the US, they're going to be charged whatever new tariff. So is that going to decrease the demand for pre-loved shopping from outside the US? I am sure it will have some sort of an impact on the pre-loved market and the pricing. So all of this to say, is your designer collection worth nothing now? I have to say our designer collections are probably worth a little less than what they were worth just a couple of years ago. For example, my Birkin would have retailed for something like 40,000 Australian dollars on the pre-loved or the resale market just a couple of years ago in this exact spec, gold Togo leather with gold hardware, size 25, a very popular spec in a Birkin bag. But today it may only retail for something like 27,000, 28,000 Australian dollars. So yes, I do definitely think that our collections are worth bit less. Where does that lead us as people who are interested in shopping luxury designer items? I think we'll be a little bit more conscious on making our decisions on spending our hard-earned money. I think there will be some people who will be swept in the hype of the trend of selling off everything. We have been enlightened. We don't believe in designer bags anymore and sell off everything they have. I'm sure there are going to be some people more extreme like that. For me personally, I think it will definitely slow my shopping down. I will probably focus more on enjoying the items currently in my collection. I do have a few nice bags that I really enjoy, but I will definitely not be in any rush to sell off any of my bags now. This is definitely a dip in the market. This is the wrong time to sell, in my opinion. If anything, I think this is a great to get some deals on the pre-loved market. So if you have been eyeing on any items, anything that has been on your wish list, go have a look on the pre-loved market. Go to your trusted consignment stores. Have a look to see if they have that item that you're interested in at a bargain. That is definitely what I'll be probably doing. If any item came up that caught my interest enough that I want to add to my collection at this point in time, it's like real estate, right? When you're at the bottom of the market, unless you really need the cash flow, you do not sell at that point. So as someone who likes to curate her collection as my lifestyle evolves, I do tend to sell off the bags that I'm not using anymore and purchase new bags that might work better for my lifestyle currently. But at the moment, I am most likely to just hold my status quo, keep my bags, do not sell any, but also won't be in any rush to buy anything new, except I do need to pick out a new Dior bag because my mini book tote had issues and they're probably going to give me a credit note, and I do need to pick out a new bag, which I'm torn about. So I'll talk to you guys about that in a separate video when I do make the decision. In saying all of this, I have actually sold quite a few luxury items in the last year or so. So I am planning on sharing with you guys what I've sold in the recent months and why. So I'll try to get that video up for you guys in the next week or two. But I have to say that batch of items that I recently sold might be the last batch for the foreseeable future that I'm going to sell, because like I said, I'm going to hold on to everything right this dip in the market out. What do you guys think? Do you think designer bags are worthless now? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Anyway, I don't know how this video turned out because I feel like I've just been rambly. I was just sort of talking to you guys about everything that's been on my mind about these issues, really casually, like I'm talking to a friend. I feel like this video wasn't exactly structured or anything, but I hope you still enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your precious time with me today, and I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys.